Hi, everybody. So here is a short demonstration and hopefully a review of the processes of mark making, blind contour, and contour line drawing. This all relates to what is known in drawing circles as the Zen of seeing and drawing. This is has its roots in sort of mindfulness practice. And what it is really, really good for is training your eye to see, training your hand to respond, and increasing the visual memory. So it's not really about creating incredibly beautiful drawings or whatever. This is not that the intention, not the objective of that. So a couple of things that I want you to accomplish in your practice and for this project is to go out and collect some objects that you want to study drawing. These are some things that I had from around my house, some sunflowers from outside, a pine cone. So this is Asian pear tree that's out in front of the house, and so I grabbed a few of those. And anyway, it just gives me something to draw. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's better that the objects are more interesting than not. Here's something from my studio. This would be a really, I think, quite boring thing to draw for this, but maybe that's what you would like to draw anyway. So grab some stuff that is interesting to draw and bring them into your studio. You can, if you want, go out and draw outdoors if that's what you would like to do. So either way, find a place or find some things that are interesting to draw. Some main points for this are to first of all, you have to stay relaxed, stay physically relaxed, and that goes for your whole body generally, because if you don't stay physically relaxed, you're not going to be able to draw for very long without getting very tired. And that mostly goes for your shoulder structure, your arm, shoulder, or elbow, wrist, and grip. So your hand needs to stay very relaxed. You can't tighten down on your drawing utensil, your drawing tool, or you're going to get exhausted very quickly. So the grip on this is a lot like a little baby grabbing your finger. It's really relaxed, but you can't pull it away at the same time. So that's going to allow you to have a longer duration in your drawing sessions. It's also going to make your mark making more subtle and responsive and accurate. The next point is to not hold your breath. So don't begin your drawing and go, and then take a full breath and then try and draw it out, and then you want to breathe. Oxygen's good for your brain, so stay relaxed and breathe. This is sort of why it's called the mindfulness drawing or Zen of drawing. Is this very basic kinesthetic training is important. The third one is to slow down when you're drawing. You don't want to frenzy. You don't get a prize for being the first one done. You have to draw slowly. The slower that you look, the slower I look at my subject matter, the more I am going to see, and the more that information is going to stick inside my visual memory, so that later on I can have that in my memory bank to draw from memory, if that's what I need to do. So slow down, slow your marks down, slow your hand down, slow your eyes down, relax and breathe. So there we go. That's the big basic stuff to remember. Let me get this up in the camera so perhaps you can see them in there. All right. So what I would like for you to do with this drawing is to just create a page or more, but at least one page of blind contour and contour drawings. Some that you're only looking at your subject matter and blind to your drawing, and somewhere you're looking at both. But the main point is this slow looking and responding to your subject matter. And these drawings can be small or they could be big, depending on the subject matter that you're looking at. That doesn't really make a difference. They don't have to be accurate. You're maybe down the road or after you've practiced a lot, you're going to have a lot of accuracy in them. Maybe they become more and more refined, but that's not the point either. The last thing that I want to do before I do a really slow demonstration is to ask you to experiment with the grip that you have on your pen. I would like you to use your fountain pen for this, but this grip, remember, is what you've been trained to do with your pencils and pens since you were in kindergarten or before, and it kinesthetically registers through your body into that part of your brain that is more analytical. And it's not a bad thing. I'm very adept at writing with it, but my mark making with it is restricted because of the way that the hand is set up. This grip is made for making little tiny marks like letters and numbers. You will find that adjusting your grip like this, even with this fountain pen, is going to give you a freer, more responsive mark. Now, it takes a little practice if you haven't done it a lot, but I highly recommend setting out to practice it. Eventually, you want to be able to switch between several different kinds of grips on your tool so that you can do different kinds of things with it. But since this isn't what most people are used to or have practiced, I would like to recommend that you begin practicing it. And so I'm going to draw like this, making these kinds of marks. So use this little section here. This grip is good for this kind of mark, and I can make all kinds of curves and stuff. But if I switch like this, watch this, I'm putting pressure with my pointer finger, and that pressure gives me darker or lighter marks much easier than I'm doing with this. So that's why a little mark making here. Sometimes you need both. Anyway, so let me make sure that you all can see this. All right, so here, this is a good spot right here. Okay, I am going to slowly, I'm going to draw this little tiny skull here, and I want to take a deep breath, slow down and relax. And with my contour line drawing, I'm going to begin around this edge here and come in and around. It's not a strict contour. Remember, a contour is not just the outside of an object. The contour is the sort of edges, even between light and shadow or parts of the form. But anyway, it's sort of an abstraction of a three-dimensional form into line. And so I'll start there on that cheek. And this is going to be mostly blind. I'm going to look at what I'm drawing. But I'm going to look more at what I'm drawing than I am looking at my drawing. That seems sort of obvious when it's said, but if I'm looking at my drawing more than I'm looking at my object I'm drawing, then I'm not necessarily drawing what I see, unless I have a tremendous visual memory of that object. But anyway, a little bit of that information in the nasal cavity. Sometimes a mark needs to be shaky. Sometimes it needs to be long and smooth. Depends on what you're looking at. It's important maybe to put on some good music too. I'm listening to some experimental jazz here. No words. All right, what's that? A couple minutes long? That's a pretty good little study right there. And so there you go. So spend, these blind contours up here. I did actually earlier thinking that I was recording. They're between 1 minute and 3 minutes long. Some of these, this is about 10 minutes. This is about 5 minutes. So stay relaxed, sort of record what you're doing. So you have, like, by that I mean write down, 3 minute or 5 minutes. So you have some record of what you're doing. So when you look back on it later, you can figure out what you were up to. Overall, spend about 2 hours on this. You can do that all in one chunk of time during the class, during what would be class time, or you can break that up so that every day you're doing a little bit of it. You're doing maybe 30 minutes or so, so that like a musician, you're practicing every day. That's really what this is all about. So that's up to you. The last thing is that enjoy yourself, have fun, and I will see you all later.